Hey everybody, I'm super excited today to show you guys some really cool functionality that we're going to be building into TrueTracts. So TrueTracts started out as an awesome market definition and market analysis tool, and we've received such awesome feedback from our users. For example, one user said, TrueTracts is the best appraisal product I've added in the last 20 years. Another one said, by the way, I've been using TrueTracts and was talking to an underwriter who said I had the best market condition report she's ever seen. The most common piece of feedback we've been receiving is that you love Spark, you love Synapse, and you're loving TrueTracts, but you want them all integrated in one tool. And so, not only have we combined them, but we've built something better. And so TrueTracts is now becoming our foundation, the central platform that brings everything together. And now we're building on top of that foundation, and we're adding three major new features. We're going to be replacing Synapse with a built-in, more rigorous and easier to use adjustment support engine. We're going to be building an integration with Spark so that you can clean and manage your comps with the tool that you know and love. And then we're adding a reconciliation tab with an editable grid so you can finalize and support your value conclusion in one place. TrueTracts is now more of a complete valuation assistant, from market definition to market analysis to adjustment support to reconciliation, all in one flow. Okay, so here's how it works. You're going to start with the market definition and market analysis tabs. Those of you guys have already been using. You define your market, you curate your data, you analyze the trends, and you get your time adjustments. Then you're going to move on and you are going to do your comp cleaning and data entry with Spark. This is about a 2-minute process once you import the comps and export them back out. But this is where we've built the integration. We realized that building all of the Spark functionality into TrueTracts directly right before we switch to a new UAD and forms is probably not the best use of our time, so we've built an integration instead. And so it's a simple process. When you're in TrueTracts, you're going to click Open a Spark session. That's going to open up a window with your pre-filled subject information. You're going to select your comps in your MLS and import those over. You're going to clean that data in Spark the way you normally do, and then you'll hit an Export to TrueTracts button in Spark, which will then move all of that information automatically into TrueTracts. Then you'll do your feature adjustments. This is less than a 5-minute process. So you're going to be able to leverage multiple adjustment support methods, including GAM, depreciated cost, peer data, and a couple others. We're also then going to move to reconciliation tab. So here you're going to be able to weight your comps, review your adjustments, and finalize the value conclusion in a new streamlined reconciliation tab. And then you get to export all of that work you did. You export the market analysis, the comps, the adjustments in the grid, and supporting commentary directly into your form filler, saving you a ton of time. Okay, so now let's assume that you've completed these first steps where you've done the market analysis, you've picked your comps, you've cleaned them up with Spark, and you've exported those back into TrueTracts. Now let's jump into the new Feature Adjustments tab. So we've replaced Synapse with a faster, more rigorous adjustment support model that gives you multiple support methods for each feature. One of them is GAM, that's the Generalized Additive Model. All features are analyzed simultaneously, and it captures both linear and nonlinear relationships like diminishing returns in order to produce smooth, statistically supported adjustment curves. We have depreciated cost and we have peer adjustments. With over 2.5 million appraiser-backed adjustments from Synapse, our peer adjustments aren't outdated hand-me-downs. They are rigorously built on 12 appraisal methods like paired sales, depreciated costs, and regression, and they're backed by real market data and analytics to ensure credibility and reliability. So let's look at GLA for an example. We have the graph over here with all of the data plotted. We have a red nonlinear trend line fit through the data. I can toggle that on or off over here. We have the linear trend line, which is the smallest comp to the largest comp. That's the area that we care about. And this $75 indicates the rate of change between those 2 points. Anywhere between $63 per square foot and $87 is within this 90% credible interval, and you're supported to choose any number in there. You can also look at the peer adjustments, and you can see the 5th percentile all the way to the 95th percentile, with the median appraiser chosen adjustment in Synapse being $80. Again, remember, this is a similar property in the same market. This is what an appraiser chose for that adjustment. And then we have the depreciated cost indicator. You'll be able to pick which ones you want to rely on and which ones seem credible. And in the future, once you've selected those items, we'll be able to write that commentary for you based on the items or the methods that you chose. And this is what we think appraisal adjustment support should look like. It's fast, it's credible, it's data first, and it's fully appraiser controlled. Okay, now we move on to reconciliation. So here you can see the time and feature adjustments have automatically been applied based on your prior decisions. You can assign different ratings, similarity ratings to the comps, which will correspond to a weight percentage, which will then calculate an estimated value. You can see realtor remarks. You can click into any photo and you can compare this comp's photos to the subjects over here on the left side by side. You can hit the down arrow and go to the next comp, down arrow again to go to the next comp, down arrow again, you can go to the next comp. And so you can just quickly scroll through your report by going through each comp in that way and comparing those photos to the subject's photos. When you're done with all of that and you have reconciled everything into an opinion of value, you can simply hit the export button and that will send everything into your form filter with all the supporting commentary and support that you need. Okay, so now let's do a quick recap. You're getting a lot of stuff in this tool right now. You're getting market definition, you're getting market analysis, you're getting your comps cleaned with the Spark integration and put into your grid. You're getting feature adjustment support, reconciliation, all done efficiently and in one workflow. Now let's talk about pricing and availability. So many of you are already paying $30 for Synapse and $69 for Spark. That's $99 per month for unlimited. And now I know what you're thinking. Great, here comes TrueTracts. They're about to double the price on us. The answer to that is no. We know that you guys are being squeezed in every direction right now. Fees, turn times, expectations. The last thing we want to do is price this out of reach. So TrueTracts will include the Spark subscription, more rigorous and easier to use version of Synapse for adjustment support, and all the other stuff, market definition, market analysis, reconciliation. And it will all be for just one fee of $99 per month, and that's for unlimited use. You'll also be getting a free 2-week trial. The launch is planned for at some point in July. And geographic availability, this will be available to all current Spark markets, and we'll also be adding a bunch more Spark markets prior to July. So even if Spark is not in your area, we may have this ready for you by then. Until then, TrueTracts is free though, so use it now, get used to market definition, market analysis, get your time adjustments, and that way you're going to be ready to unlock the full suite on launch day.